Brian Castano. They treated us to a memorable matchup here in San Antonio. I turn over the floor to still holding 3 of his titles, JERMELL CHARLO. JERMELL CHARLO went out, he fought his heart out as he always does, representing his hometown of Houston, Texas. If the media has any questions for JERMELL, but JERMELL, I want to open up the floor to you. How are you feeling after the draw that you had against Brian Castano with all 4 belts on the line?
Well, I mean, you know, when not a lot of people get an opportunity to fight for an undisputed championship in boxing. So this is an opportunity for me. I'm very thankful for it. I didn't pull off the win or the knockout like y'all usually see me, so I guess that's kind of like how, you know, when you look at a lot of judges, they probably judge the fight off of like how the fact that JERMELL CHARLO always coming forward, he really never boxes, he always knocking everybody out, he hitting hard, all of these other things, and then some rounds you don't win, some rounds you make it edge it really close. They tend to like either score for the opponent, you know, because of the fact that I didn't win it, you know, as fair, like as, you know, fair the way I usually do it. So, but I feel good, you know, I'm happy. I gotta go back over my performance and look at it. I don't really know, you know, I just know I was just in a fight, you know, a dog fight. I had hurting him all over the ring. He did stop coming. You know, I was listening to my twin brother, listening to Derry James, Juan Guzman, my whole team, Kevin, Titus. I'm just so, my lady yelling. I hear so much. You know, I was so attentive to everything. I'm just, you know, I'm thankful, bro. Like, this is crazy. You know, I get an opportunity to, you know, make some millions of dollars and then come back and I do it again. I don't care.
We're thankful for what the performance that you gave tonight. You're with alongside Derek James. If you have questions for JERMELL CHARLO, I think Mike, you got one. Crystal Frost has the microphone. Wait until it gets to you.
JERMELL, congrats on a hell of a fight. It was one of the best fights of the year, in my opinion, and you know, it was a dog fight, like you said. But you know, Derek did tell you needed a knockout late in the fight. Obviously, look, you're just in a big fight, so you don't know how it was scored. But do you feel like maybe the draw was fair, or?
Nah, I actually feel like, I don't know how they came out with, you know, honestly, I think that, you know, it was a closer fight than it seems. Somebody had it like 117, 111. I do feel that I won a little bit more rounds than he did. 117, 111 was a kind of a large range. But I do feel that there's no way possible that you could just like, oh, 114, 114, you know what I'm saying? So, not to take anything away from what Brian Castano did, but I feel like I pushed a lot harder tonight than he did. You know, he wasn't running in there trying to be the Brian Castano he was. I took him out of his game plan. If they really knew who Brian Castano was and how he actually fights and threw 1,100 punches, from how I did it, I don't think that, you know, I think I did a better performance than a lot of people that fought him. I didn't see, you know, Erlan Dilar wobbling all over the ring. I didn't see Tejera do anything like that. I felt like I did way better than, you know, and Derek told me in the 9th round, you know, like I was, hey, you gotta knock him out. Fuck, what you talking about? What you talking about? Knock him out? I'm beating his ass. But then I'm like, oh, you know, I gotta think about it. I'm in the state of Texas. The judging, you know, they had fair judges. I guess they was from all over the place. The referee was Panama. You know, I wish I would have got somebody. I don't know, bro. You know, it's cool. The guy with the eyes that look all crazy and shit. He be really into that shit. But yeah, he's known for that. He's okay with it. Shout out to him. He's okay with it. He knows that you know, he let the judges know like that was a good shot. Like I blocked a lot of shots that people probably thought I got hit with. A lot of shots slid off. It was a stunning fight.
You know, you've said it many times in the past that you needed to fight someone better to show everyone what you really have. And I think it's clear now that Brian Castano is by far the best guy you've ever fought. You know, he was in control for a lot of the early part of the fight. Obviously, you dug down deep and landed those big shots in round 10 to turn the tide. But how much better do you think you can become now that you fought someone like this?
But I don't think he was the best fighter he ever fought. I think
Derek, go ahead.
Even though you didn't ask me a question, I don't think he was the best fighter he ever fought. He only had.
He was better than him.
He only had his way when he.
Who was better than me?
Wait. He only had his way when JERMELL stayed in one spot on the ropes and tried doing this. Other than that, he really wasn't. He's not the best fighter he ever fought. I think Tony Harrison was probably better than him.
Tony Harrison did better than Brian Castano?
Hell yeah. Yeah, listen, man, what you talking? The shots he was throwing, he was not landing those punches.
Look at the fighters that we
Listen, that guy, he was, listen, Mike, listen to me, Mike. He was not landing those shots.
For sure.
And he only tried to win the last round. He go ahead.
Tony Harrison to be in. What the fuck you talking about? Castanio fought tonight.
Like this.
Bro, no more questions.
He fought his first tonight. He didn't fight the whole
Next
fight.
question.
I feel like he tried to win the end of the round every round though.
He tried to steal the end of the round.
You got Keith? Keith?
Jermell, you obviously hurt him pretty badly in the 10th round. How close did you feel?
And only the 10th?
The ninth round too.
Well, that was the most obvious time.
No, obvious, the second or like
3 times.
I feel like I heard him more than 3 times, you know? Yeah. I mean, I seen him, his legs wobble 3 times. Well, go ahead, my bad.
How close did you feel you were to getting him out of there at that point? And did you feel he was still hurt in the beginning of the 11th round?
Of course, that's what I'm saying. So, I went into the 10th round, he was, like belligerent all over the ring, like barely could stand up. I don't know, I just couldn't get him out of there, you know what I'm saying? The dude was tough, he was tough as fuck, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I wanted. I wanted a warrior, I faced a warrior, and I knew what I was getting in there with, an undefeated fighter. Come on, this is not something that everybody looking at it like, shit, I fought a hard fighter. So for anybody that don't really know the skills of JERMELL CHARLO, maybe y'all can go back over and add JERMELL CHARLO to your pound for pound list. Or fuck you, really.
You're on our pound for pound list, but...
you boxing scene, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
You're 7th on the list, but anyway...
I'm 7 on your list, thank you for that.
Well earned, obviously. People are going to want to see this rematch, obviously. I'm sure you're well aware of that. I know the fight just ended, but your thoughts on fighting him again, because it was an entertaining fight as well.
Was it? Thank you. Of course, that's what we're made for. We're made to be warriors, dog. This is, get better. This is a get better moment. I could recite everything that happened in that fight, and I think that of course we'll take a rematch. Don't know when, but I would love to get in there and fight him again.
Questions for JERMELL CHARLO? Raise your hand.
What's up, this Punch Drunk? What's good?
Punch Drunk, I like you. I know all about you. I pay attention to you, man. Shout out to the people.
Thanks, my brother. Thanks for the performance today. Your success and your vulnerability came on the ropes. I had you winning 116, 112 because you mixed the punches. You had your 1 and 2s. You controlled the 3-minute intervals of each round. But what do you feel? What do you feel you could do next in the next fight if you do rematch him?
That's why I got a coach that loves to sit at home in his big game room and just watch fights and replay them back to back to back. He'll be calling me all day, so I'm happy about that. But just off of my mental, I think I could have easily just, be a little bit more active. I stayed kind of imposed, just waiting on him to see what his move was gonna be. Took him out of his game plan. Like I said, if he would have tried to come in there, you see he got hurt at the beginning off the fact that he tried to throw like a combination. I think like maybe 4 or 5 punches at one time, and that's when he got caught. But if he would have tried that again, I would have did the same exact thing. So I don't think he would have ended. That fight would have ended earlier. But he must have regrouped, and his team was probably like, "Hey, you forgot you're fighting one of the strongest fighters in the division." So, hey, like I said, I'm used to knocking guys out. And tonight I did not get a knockout. Tonight I did not even get the win. I got a draw. That shit is weird, right? I ain't never got a draw. I see people getting draws and shit, but that's what come with this boxing game. You know what I'm saying? I'm back at it. It's not gonna change nothing. Yeah.
Got a question?
JERMELL, first of all, congratulations. Wonderful performance and a very entertaining fight. You gave your reaction to when Derek James told you to get the knockout. I guess my question is for Derek. What was the reasoning or just the thought process in that moment? Obviously being ringside, we didn't hear it on the telecast, but we did find out that was said. What was just the reason behind that?
Well, the reason why I said it was because you have to find some reason to inspire the fighter, even though if you looked up at the scorecards, at the judges, the unofficial judging, they had him down. And so I said, listen, we need to pick it up, to go out there and get it. And that's really what he did. So that's really what made me do it, was because I saw it up there, and Joe was telling me about it, the cut man was telling me about it, they had him down. So that's why I was like, we need to pick it up. I mean, he won the 10th and the 11th. He hurt him several times. What is the 12th?
I was a little bit on that.
Yeah, you let him off the hook.
I should have busted that.
You should have put the. I told you to step on the gas. We need a knockout. So you should put put it on. Put the feet on pedal to the metal, man.
For sure.
We got 2 more questions for JERMELL CHARLO. 2 more questions.
Derek, you just touched on it right there. JERMELL, when you had him out in the 10th and 11th, it looked like you were trying to do the same setup that got him hurt in the first place. But do you feel like you should have emptied the clip there when you had him hurt, or were you just trying to get the same setup again?
Like this guy.
Yeah, you know, I did. I know in boxing, you know, from so many years of, you know, being taught the game that you don't rush knockouts. You know, like if you go in there and you just, you know, I kind of learned that in the Tony Harrison second fight. You know, I wasn't gonna get tired. You know, like I wasn't, and I still feel good. I could have did more, but you know, when you up there, dog, it's not the same as just talking about it. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit different. You know, and then reactions and things are moving way different, and slower and faster. So it's kind of like I should have unloaded the clip. Fuck, I should have just let that shit go. Like, but it's all good. Fucking should have. I had a long clip.
One more question for JERMELL CHARLO, and then we'll let him go ahead and get some rest, be with his lovely family. He gave us a fantastic performance tonight. Always a pleasure to see you do your thing. One more question.
Steve Graham, KOR Sports. Congratulations, man, on a great fight. Was there something wrong with your right hand? It seemed like kind of maybe, I don't know if like a bone was protruding from your right hand a little, or your right shoulder a little bit, and I kind of noticed you weren't throwing it too much.
Yeah, I had a prior injury, but you know, I don't care about those excuses. You know, I try to fight through these things, but I was good. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people I probably won't talk about it. You know, that's probably something that you won't hear. So thank you for asking that question. So you brought it to my attention. But yeah, when you're a warrior, bro, you got to feed your family. You don't got no excuses for anything. So you got to get in there and you got to fight and face what you face. And so yeah, I've been dealing with certain things throughout this whole time of me boxing. Well, not the whole time, but you know, a few years. You know, we deal with this. So it's nothing gonna change.
And just quickly talk about, I mean, you got a draw, but you seem very happy, you seem very content with yourself. I mean, you're a warrior, you were just in there with another warrior. Talk about just that feeling of sharing that ring with him, and you know, still going home with 3 belts, 4 belts.
I'm at peace with myself, you know what I'm saying? I love boxing, and this is a dope ass sport, and it's not a lot of people that could just jump in the ring. I don't know how many of y'all even lace gloves up, but if you get in there and you do a whole training camp, I trained for like 14 weeks. I went hard, you know what I'm saying? And so for me to pull off a performance like that, I thought I'd had his ass knocked out. I did knock his ass out, but I should have won the fight. I do believe I won the fight. I don't believe that it was that close. And I don't believe it was so far spread margin, but I do believe I did pull that win off a victory. And I should be undisputed right now. I'm not down at all. I could go turn the fuck up right now. My team and my Houston people, I'll be excited. Yeah. My family here, like they said. And, the sky's the limit for me. I'm not gonna turn down at all. I'm happy. I'm excited. My coach next to me, and you know everything is good. You know, my mom, UBK in this bitch. Like we turned up. You know, punch in here.
JERMELL, thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Congratulations on a fantastic performance. We can't wait to see the rematch whenever it happens.
And I wanna say one good thing that y'all probably don't realize. You know. One of my second coach, he came all the way down. I know my dog Earl Spence getting ready for a major fight against Manny Pacquiao, and that's a big fight coming up. And I can't wait till he, you know, get in the ring and do his thing. But shout out to Guzman, you know, Juan Guzman. You know, he did a terrific job holding it down for me while I was in Houston, Texas. Shout out to him in the front row, bro. Ex-champion, baby.
Yeah.
You know. And shout out to Derek James and the collaboration and the making this really make this matter happen and make tonight a fantastic, terrific night for me.
JERMELL CHARLO, everybody, give a round of applause. Houston's finest, along with Derek James. Congratulations, JERMELL. Thank you. Man, that was beautiful.